All right, now who here thinks they can live forever? I'm waiting. Nobody, because you can't live forever. But today we're checking out a video called I can't see that, the most bizarre ways people have tried to cheat death. I use a TV, right? And so my screen is huge. So like whenever I look in the corner, for you guys, you might be watching on the phone. The text of the video for me is way over there. So yeah, I gotta lean over and get it. But yeah, people are apparently trying to cheat death, and we're gonna see if they actually do. This guy right here looks like Elon Musk. It really does. Maybe he did. Elon Musk got cloned. But yeah, this first guy, Brian Johnson, you guys can't see him, but I know he like swapped his blood with his son or something, and he wants to like live to like 130, and he thinks he's actually gonna do it. But he looks obviously. Let me zoom out. He obviously looks like a regular old man. I don't know. We're gonna check out the video though, and yeah, this video will be linked down in the description. And yeah, go check out my main channel and my gaming channel. We are growing over there as well on the main channel. We're closing in on 25,000 subscribers on there. Soon to be 30K and then 100K by the end of the year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm ending the video off already. Hope you guys enjoyed my content over there, because a lot of people will see me over here and they're like, oh, this guy actually makes videos instead of just reacting to stuff. So yeah, we're going to check it out. And yeah, join up on the Discord and let's check it out. The ways people try to cheat death.
Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson is a tech entrepreneur who sold his company Braintree to PayPal in 2013 for $800 million. He used the money to start a program called Blueprint, built to reverse his aging. He spends about $2 million a year on it.
Yeah, he owned PayPal, and he sold it so he could live forever.
PayPal in 2013.
How much money
Brian
did
Johnson
he
is
sell
a
it for?
tech entrepreneur who
Dude, he looks just
Brian
like
Johnson.
How old is he?
Brian Johnson.
How old is Brian Johnson? Let's see. Brian Johnson is 48. And he apparently wants to, my guy, you look old. I can tell he's wearing makeup. He thinks he looks young. He has a son. I think he like swapped his blood or something with his son. Like, my guy, you're never going back to looking like that again. It's like, you're old, man. Is that his dad? It's like, dude, it's not possible, man. Aging is just something that's gonna happen to everybody. And I mean, it's cool. I guess his son's on board with it, but damn.
Who sold his company Braintree to PayPal in 2013 for $800 million. He used the money to start a program called Blueprint, built to reverse his aging. He spends about $2 million a year on it. He is the subject of the 2025 Netflix documentary Don't Die. Johnson hired over 30 doctors. They test his blood, scan his organs, track his body fat, analyze his stool, and monitor his nighttime erections using a device worn on his penis while he sleeps. Every reading feeds into a system that tells Johnson what to eat, when to sleep, and how to move. He wakes at 4:30 a.m. and takes 111 pills before breakfast. The diet is 2,250 calories of mostly blended vegetables.
He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning and takes more than 100 pills. What the hell? That is probably the weirdest sleep. Yeah, I just got up at 4:30 in the morning. I just gonna down 100 pills
Before breakfast.
There's no way he actually does that. He wears a strap on his penis. That's crazy.
50 calories of mostly blended vegetables eaten before 11 a.m. He has followed whatever the system tells him for over 6 years. In April 2023, Johnson had his 17-year-old son Talmadge hooked up to a machine to extract his blood plasma. That plasma was injected into Johnson. Johnson then gave his own plasma to his 70-year-old father. After 6 rounds, Johnson tested the results. No benefits found. He stopped doing it. Johnson is 48.
Yeah.
He claims his body ages at 0.69 years for...
Yeah, big surprise. You can't stop aging, buddy. He gave it to his 70-year-old dad. Hey, Dad, I'm going to stop you from aging. Here, take this blood plasma.
Every calendar year,
He's an
meaning
idiot.
for every 12 months that pass, his body only ages about 8 months. His doctors say his fitness matches the top 1.5% of 18-year-olds. He does over 100 treatments at the same time. No one, including his 30 doctors, can tell him which ones are working. Sergei Voronov.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out in 40 years to see if he looks like his dad.
Voronov was a Russian-born surgeon working in Paris in the 1920s. He believed people aged because their sexual organs wore out, and that grafting young tissue onto old ones could reverse it. He started with animals, then moved to humans. Voronov sliced thin strips from the testicle of a chimpanzee and stitched them directly onto the testicles of an aging man. He charged 10,000 francs per operation. The patients were mostly millionaires. They said they felt sharper, saw better, and that their sex drive came back. He even did the operation on his own brother. By the early 1930s, he had done over 500 of these operations in France alone. To keep up with demand, he set up a chimpanzee breeding farm on the Italian Riviera. Newspapers across Europe
covered he cuts the nuts off of a chimpanzee.
Him. Wealthy men traveled from around the world for the surgery.
This is something you'd only do if you have like $1 million.
Ashtrays appeared showing monkeys covering their genitals with the words, "No, Voronov, you won't get me." In one experiment, he put a human ovary inside a female monkey and tried to get the animal pregnant with human sperm. It failed. Researchers later looked at the tissue under a microscope. They found the same thing every time: scar tissue. The chimpanzee cells had been destroyed by the body on contact. They never made any hormones. 500 men had paid to have dead animal parts stitched onto their testicles. Voronov died in 1951 at 85. By then, no one took his work seriously. Qin Shi Huang.
But they said it worked though. The people said their sex drive came back.
Huang became the
so they were just lying to gas him up.
Then, no one took his work seriously. Qin Shi Huang. Qin Shi Huang became the first emperor to unify China in 221 BCE. He took the throne at 13. He built the early Great Wall and created one system of writing and money for the whole country. But he was afraid of dying. He banned
Imagine a 13-year-old just ruling your country. It's crazy.
Death. Anyone who said it in front of him could be killed. At the same time, he ordered the construction of a tomb.
So he's scared of death, but he kills people for saying the word death. That makes sense.
Anyone who said it in front of him could be killed. At the same time, he ordered the construction of a tomb. It took 39 years and 700,000 workers. Inside, rivers were filled with liquid mercury. Around it, 8,000 life-sized clay soldiers stood guard. He sent an alchemist named Xu Fu across the sea with 3,000 young men and women to find a mythical island called Mount Penglai, where a tree of deathlessness supposedly grew. Xu Fu never came back. Neither did anyone he took with him. When the search failed, the emperor turned to his court alchemists. They made him pills from cinnabar, a bright red mineral that contains mercury. Alchemists believed mercury had special powers because it shifted between solid and liquid, which they took as proof that death could be reversed. The emperor took the pills every day for years.
Well, is he alive today?
Over time, he became paranoid and violent. He stopped appearing in public.
I don't think fearing dying is a good thing. Like, I used to be really scared of dying. I mean, I feel like everyone's naturally scared of dying because it's like, damn, I'm really not going to be here anymore. But like, once you accept it and it's like, well, there's not shit I can do about it, so who cares? It's like everybody that has ever lived has thought about dying, and they are all dead. So I'm just going to be another one of those people. And 500 years from now, someone will think the exact same thing, and I'll be dead. So it's like, who cares, man? I feel like we all have that natural instinct of like, wow, like I'm almost 20 years old. I've lived almost, I guess, a quarter of my life, a fifth. But it's like, I feel like thinking about death, it's like, I don't know what to think. You know, it's like maybe I'll go back to, because I'm not religious personally. I don't believe there's anything after I die. I think I'll just go back to a state of like non-existence. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I've only lived once. I've never had visions of like a religion or anything. I've never had something speak to me. So it's like, I just don't know. And I really don't care until that day comes. So yeah, I'm gonna just live my life like every day is my last, you know? So
he died in
this was my yearbook quote. Life is only precious because it ends. So
110 BCE at 49.
If life never ended, then you'd have nothing to look forward to, nothing to do. Everything would just be emotionless, you know? So yeah, that's the way I look at it.
The pills every day for years. Over time, he became paranoid and violent. He stopped appearing in public. He died in 210 BCE at 49. The cause was almost certainly 49. The mercury he had been swallowing to stay alive. Modern soil tests around the tomb still show dangerous levels of mercury over 2,200 years later. Eben Byers. Eben Byers was a wealthy Yale graduate and amateur golf champion. In 1927, he fell from his bunk on a train and hurt his arm. A doctor recommended a product called Radithor. It was distilled water with radium, a radioactive substance dissolved in it. Byers tried it and felt better. Not just his arm. He said he felt younger, sharper, full of energy. He started drinking 3 bottles a day, every day for nearly 3 years. An estimated 1,400 bottles total.
That's definitely not going to backfire.
Cases to his girlfriends. Some went to his racehorses. By 1931, his jaw had started to fall apart.
Yep.
Holes were forming in his skull. His teeth were falling out. All but 6 were gone. The radium had been building up in his bones for years, eating through them from the inside. He died in 1932 at 51. His body was so radioactive that he had to be buried in a lead-lined coffin. When scientists dug him up 33 years later, his bones were still giving off radiation. The Wall Street Journal ran the headline, "The radium water worked fine until his jaw came off." Byers was not alone in the radium craze. During the same period, companies sold radioactive toothpaste, radium suppositories, and a device called the Radiondocrinator.
Radioactive
it was a small
toothpaste
pad laced with radium, designed to be worn inside a jockstrap pressed against the scrotum. It sold for $1,000. Modern testing shows it gives off about 1,000 times the radiation of a radium watch. John Brinkley. John Brinkley was a doctor in Milford, Kansas, whose medical degree came from a fake school. In 1918, a farmer walked into his office complaining that he had lost his sex drive. Brinkley looked out the window at a goat and had an idea. He cut the testicles from the goat and put them into the farmer's scrotum. A year later, the farmer's wife gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Billy.
What?
Word spread. Brinkley began doing the operation full-time, telling men it would make them young again. He charged $750 each and treated up to 50 patients a week. Unlike Voronoff, who used thin slices, Brinkley put whole goat testicles directly into the scrotum. He told patients it could cure anything from a dead sex drive.
He cut your ball sack open and put testicles of another animal and sewed it back up. What the hell? Wouldn't you bleed out? Like, wouldn't you isn't your ball and like your penis really sensitive? Like, if you're like, this is I'm sharing way too much information, but like, I remember I watched a video one time I watched it on this channel. What am I talking about? It was a reaction I did. It was a guy was like using a sex toy and it cut the tip of his penis open and he bled out and died. Like, that's so sensitive. It's like
to mental illness.
That seems like it would hurt so bad. Like, imagine being hard as a rock and you just get cut. Fuck. Woo!
Bought 12 Cadillacs and 3 yachts. Then the American
that would hurt like
Medical Association pulled his license. Brinkley's response was to run for governor of Kansas so he could change the laws that shut him down. He nearly won. When that failed, he built a radio station across the border in Mexico with a signal of 1 million watts, the most powerful in the world at the time. He used it to sell goat testicle surgery to listeners across North and South America.
Surgery.
The Kansas Medical Board eventually looked into his patient records. They found 42 death certificates connected to his practice. Brinkley spent his final years buried in lawsuits. He died bankrupt in 1942 at 56. Wiley Brooks. Wiley Brooks is an American man who claims he has not needed food to survive since 1983. He calls his practice breatharianism. The idea is that if you stop eating and learn to take in energy from light and air instead, you can live forever. He started the Breatharian Institute.
So it's like sunning, where people, is that what it's called? Where people put their buttholes toward the sun and then they die of cancer. But they claim it makes you immune to all diseases or whatever.
America, and began charging people to learn how. Workshop prices ranged from $100,000 to $1 million. At one point, he listed a package.
$1 million to learn how to breathe from the sun and absorb whatever the hell he's talking. $1 million, bro. It's not worth that much.
On his website for $50 billion. In the 1980s, Brooks went on television to promote his teachings. He looked healthy, spoke clearly, and told audiences.
And then he died 2 weeks later because he wasn't eating.
He had gone years without eating solid food. People paid to attend his events. Then he was spotted at a fast food restaurant.
Spotted at a fast food joint.
Reporters found him at a 7-Eleven buying a Slurpee and a hot dog. On another occasion, he was seen leaving a McDonald's.
He's not eating the food. He's getting it for someone else.
Brooks did not deny it. He said a McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese was one of the only foods that could put a person in line with what he called the base frequency of a fifth-dimensional universe. The Diet Coke had to come with it. Brooks said the two together created an energy that let the body go without any other food. At least 5 people have died following breatharian teachings from different leaders around the world. Brooks is still alive. He still runs the Breatharian.
He's still alive? No way, dude. Willie Brooks. Or Wiley Brooks. That's not him. What? Let's see. Breatharian. Oh, he died in 2016. He said he was alive. He is not alive. He died in 2016. Damn. Well, he said it would make him live forever, and it didn't make him live forever. Or maybe was, yeah, he died in 2016. Is he dead or not? Because the guy said he's alive. I don't know. Who cares? But that's crazy.
Institute. His website still lists workshops. The $50 billion package is no longer on it. The Jiajing Emperor. The Jiajing Emperor took the throne of China at 13. He ruled the Ming dynasty for 45 years. For most of that time, he was trying to live forever. He turned to Taoist
I could not imagine a 13-year-old ruling over a whole dynasty.
Who told him they could make him immortal. Records from the time say the emperor and his chief advisor gathered 960 teenage girls and locked them inside the palace. The girls were fed nothing but mulberry leaves and rainwater so their menstrual blood could be collected. That blood was mixed with mercury, arsenic, and lead to make a liquid the emperor drank every day. The priests also demanded tens of pounds of gold dust for their rituals. In 1542, 16 palace women tried to strangle him in his sleep using a hemp rope. The knot slipped. He survived after being found unconscious for 8 hours. All 16 were executed by lingqi, a method where the body is cut apart piece by piece while the person is still alive. After the attack, the emperor abandoned the Forbidden City and moved to a private complex.
That's weird as hell. Drinking menstrual blood, bro. You gotta get... That sounds like some shit Jeffrey Epstein would be into, bro.
Of palaces and Taoist temples designed
drinking period blood. What the hell,
to look like the mythical land of immortals.
Crazy.
Court meetings stopped. So did contact with officials. The experiments continued. Officials who spoke against any of it were tortured or killed. The borders weakened. Mongol raiders reached Beijing. Pirates hit the coast. He died in 1567 at 59. The mercury had been building in his body for decades. Diane de Poitiers.
Bro was born in 1498.
Diane de Poitiers was the mistress of King Henry II of France. She was almost 20 years older than him. In a court full of younger women trying to replace her, she held her position for decades. The king signed his letters with both their names. He trusted her over his own wife, Catherine de Medici. In her 60s, Diane still looked young. A historian who met her 6 months before her death said her skin was white and smooth, and her hair was as fine as silk. She swam in cold water every morning and rode horses daily. Every day, Diane drank a liquid made with gold. Her doctors had told her that because gold never rusts or breaks down, drinking it could stop the body from aging. She did this for years. In 1559,
and then she died.
Henry died in a jousting accident. Catherine de Medici immediately forced Diane out of court. She spent her last 7 years in a castle Henry had given her. She kept drinking the gold. She died in 1566 at 66. In 2009, French scientists examined her remains. They found gold in her hair at 500 times the normal level. Her hair had turned golden from the metal. Her bones had been breaking down from the inside. The scientists said the gold was the most likely cause of her death. The pale white skin that made her famous at court was a sign of gold poisoning. Brown Sequard.
Wow.
Charles Edward Brown Sequard.
So they were telling her, they were like, oh yeah, you look so good, girl. You're like, yeah, I drink gold. And then she thinks it's good for her.
72-year-old
Jesus Christ.
Brown Sequard. Charles Edouard Brown Sequard was a 72-year-old scientist in Paris. In 1889, he crushed the testicles of dogs and guinea pigs into a liquid, mixed in blood and semen from the same animals, and injected it into his own body. He did this 10 times over 3 weeks.
That caught me so off
believed
guard.
It would make him young again. He then stood before a room of scientists and told them what happened. His stamina had gone up and his bowel movements improved. His stream of urine, he said, had grown longer and more forceful. He presented it as a major discovery. He gave the formula away for free so any doctor could use it. The room took him seriously. Within months, over 12,000 doctors across Europe began giving the same injections to their patients. In the United States, a baseball pitcher named Pud Galvin took the fluid before a game for the Pittsburgh Alleghenies and threw a shutout, meaning the other team never scored. He became the first athlete in history to take a drug to boost his performance. The drug was crushed dog testicles. Brown-Séquard introduced the idea
Seems like it will work.
that testicles held the secret to youth. Voronoff and Brinkley took it further. Scientists later recreated his formula. The amount of testosterone in it was 10,000 times too low to do anything to the human body. Everything Brown-Séquard and those 12,000 doctors saw in their patients was the placebo effect. He died in 1894, 5 years after his announcement. He was 76.
Christ.
Bart Hughes. Bart Hughes was a Dutchman who believed he knew why the brain ages. His theory was that when a baby is born, the skull has soft openings that let blood flow freely to the brain. As the skull hardens and closes during childhood, that blood flow drops. The brain gets less oxygen. It slows down. Aging begins. Hughes decided to open his back up. In 1965, he took a dentist's
drill a hole in your head. Free the spirits. That's actually something that ancient humans used to do. Whenever they would get a headache or their head would hurt, they would like drill a hole in their head, or like literally like stab a hole in their head to release because they thought it was, like bad spirits trapped inside of them.
And bored a hole into his own head. He did it at home with no medical help. The whole thing was filmed. He believed the hole would let more blood reach his brain, keeping it in a younger state for the rest of his life. Afterward, he said he felt a permanent high. His thinking was clearer. He spent years trying to get the medical world to take the procedure seriously. They did not. 5 years after Hughes,
he died.
British woman named Amanda Fielding did the same thing to herself. She also filmed it. She then ran for a seat in the British Parliament. Twice. Both times, she wanted the government to offer the procedure for free through the public health system. She lost both elections. There is no evidence that drilling into a healthy skull does any good. It leaves a permanent weak spot in the bone that can lead to infection or brain damage. Hughes never stopped believing it worked. He died in 2004 at 70.
He never stopped believing it worked until he couldn't believe anymore because he died.
Damage. Hughes never stopped believing it worked. He died in 2004 at 70. Bukai.
Yeah, well, you definitely aged. What the hell is that?
Bukai was a Buddhist monk in northern Japan. In 1903, he completed a ritual that had been banned by the emperor 24 years earlier. It was called Sokushinbutsu. The goal was to turn his body into a preserved object that would never rot. He was the last person to do it. The process took about 3,000 days. For the first 1,000, Bukai ate only nuts, seeds, and berries while exercising to burn off every bit of body fat. During the next 1,000, the diet dropped to tree bark and pine needles. Toward the end, he began drinking tea made from the sap of the urushi tree, which has the same poison found in poison ivy. Over months, it dried out his body from the inside and made his flesh toxic to bugs.
Bro's just like a raisin.
In the last stage, Bukai was sealed inside a stone chamber barely bigger than his body, 3 meters underground. He had a small air tube and a bell. Each day, he rang the bell once. The other monks listened. When the bell stopped, the air tube was removed. The tomb stayed sealed for another 1,000 days. When they opened it, his body had dried into a mummy. He had succeeded. The mummy can still be seen. Of about 100 monks who tried this over the centuries, only 16 to 24 made it. X-rays of some who failed found river stones in their stomachs.
Wow.
They had been eating rocks in the dark, underground, still ringing the bell. Alexander Bogdanov.
He's still, like, that's actually
underground, still ringing the bell.
Like, that's him? Who the hell put Ray-Bans on him? Who does he know this? Who the hell put Ray-Bans on him? Wait, is that actually him? I mean, bro did it. They put Ray-Bans on his ass. Bro's still rocking shades. Bro's still rocking shades after 4,000 years or whenever the hell he lived. Oh, no. He said, when did he live? I thought it was like the 1900s or something. Bro's chilling with the Ray-Bans. I mean, bro, you did it, man. Imagine he's like spectating from like the afterlife. He's like, who the hell put these damn glasses on me? Bro's rocking them glasses, though. He got the Meta Ray-Bans on. He's streaming on Twitch.
Alexander Bogdanov. Alexander Bogdanov was a Russian doctor and one of the original Bolsheviks who helped build the Soviet Union alongside Lenin. He also wrote science fiction. In the 1920s, he started to believe that swapping blood between young and old people could reverse aging. He called it physiological collectivism. The idea was that Soviet citizens would share blood the way they shared labor, and nobody would grow old. He tested it on himself. Over several years, he did 11 transfusions using blood from younger people. After each one, He said he felt better. His eyesight got sharper. His hair stopped falling out. Friends told him he looked 10 years younger. In 1926, he opened the Institute for Hematology and Blood Transfusions in Moscow. It was the first place in the world built for blood science. Even Lenin's sister took part in his program. Others lined up to join. Bogdanov believed he had found the answer. In April 1928, he did his 12th transfusion. He swapped blood with a 21-year-old student. The student had malaria and tuberculosis.
Yep. That's definitely a good person to swap blood with.
Nobody knew. The student who got Bogdanov's healthy blood made a full recovery. He lived into the 1980s. Bogdanov got worse quickly. He died 2 weeks later at 54.
Dumbass.
In his final hours, he refused medical help. Instead, he began writing down his own symptoms as they got worse. His pulse, his temperature, how his skin was changing.
Bro got tuberculosis.
In color. He kept recording until he died. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and feel free to drop suggestions.
A lot of dumbasses in this video. Banger.
In the comments.
Banger video, man. I love Simple Paint. Damn, couples who murdered each other. Okay. Most disturbing things found in space. That's crazy. I don't know if this guy's AI or not. I think it's animated, so I don't think it's AI. I think the voice is probably AI. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which one you think is the craziest. I'm really curious. Brian Johnson. I'm really curious to see what he will look like when I'm older. Like when I'm like 40 or 50, 60, 70. Is he still going to look how he does now? Probably not. He's probably going to look like an old man. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, go check out my other channels, join my Discord. And yeah, peace out.